Mozambique, a country where every stone tells a story, where the past is deeply etched into the present. Picture this: a land where the waves of the Indian Ocean meet a landscape rich with history and culture. Here, history is not just a series of events, but a vibrant tapestry that continues to shape the lives of its people today. Imagine Mozambique in the early 20th century, under the shadow of Portuguese colonial rule. The colonizers left a mark that was more than just administrative. It was cultural, economic, and social. Mozambique was woven into the fabric of a colonial empire that sought to exploit rather than nurture. The consequences of this period were profound, influencing every aspect of Mozambican life, from economic structures to social norms. In 1975, Mozambique's Declaration of Independence was a moment of profound hope and change. The end of Portuguese rule was not merely a shift in political control, but a leap towards self-determination and national identity. The newfound freedom, however, came with its own set of challenges. The euphoria of independence quickly gave way to the harsh realities of nation-building in a country scarred by years of colonial exploitation. The Mozambican Civil War, 1977 to 1992, was a dark chapter that added layers of complexity to the nation's struggle. It was a conflict that went beyond the battlefield, affecting every corner of society. The war's impact was felt in the destruction of infrastructure, displacement of communities, and the deep psychological scars left on its people. Yet, amid the chaos, the spirit of Mozambique remained unbroken. As the dust of war settled, Mozambique embarked on a path of economic reform. The transition from a state-controlled economy to a market-oriented approach was not just an economic shift, but a cultural and social revolution. The reforms aimed to modernize the economy, attract investment, and foster growth, setting the stage for a new era. Mozambique's history is a testament to resilience and adaptability. From the shadows of colonialism to the trials of civil war and the triumphs of economic reform, the story of Mozambique is one of endurance and transformation. This chapter unravels the historical layers that have shaped Mozambique, setting the stage for understanding its present and future. Mozambique is a country of stark contrasts, where the vibrancy of urban life collides with the simplicity of rural existence. This dichotomy paints a vivid picture of the nation's diverse living conditions, revealing a tapestry of experiences that reflect both modern advancements and traditional ways of life. In Maputo, the capital city, you encounter a bustling metropolis where the rhythm of modern life beats strongly. Skyscrapers cast their shadows over lively markets, and the hum of economic activity is a constant backdrop. The city is a microcosm of progress, with its improved infrastructure, diverse employment opportunities, and better access to services. Yet, even within this urban sprawl, you can see the remnants of Mozambique's colonial past and its ongoing struggle with inequality. Contrast this with the rural landscapes of Mozambique, where life is defined by a slower pace and greater reliance on traditional practices. Here, the countryside is dotted with simple homes, often constructed from local materials like mud and thatch. The vast expanses of farmland reflect a way of life deeply rooted in agriculture. Many rural communities engage in subsistence farming, growing crops like maize, cassava, and rice to sustain their families and local economies. Access to services in rural areas often stands in stark contrast to urban availability. In cities, healthcare facilities are more accessible and generally better equipped. Educational institutions, from primary schools to universities, are more plentiful and offer a broader range of opportunities. Rural areas, however, frequently face challenges related to service delivery. Healthcare centers might be sparse, and schools can be under-resourced, impacting the quality of education and health outcomes. Transportation serves as another significant divider between urban and rural Mozambique. In cities, public transport systems such as buses and minivans are relatively common, facilitating movement and economic activity. However, in rural areas, transportation options are limited. Many people rely on bicycles, walking, or infrequent buses, which can make accessing markets, schools, and healthcare services a considerable challenge. Electricity and technology also highlight the disparities between urban and rural living. Urban areas generally enjoy a more stable power supply and greater access to technology, including the internet. In contrast, rural communities may experience frequent power outages and have limited access to digital resources. Despite this, mobile phones have become a vital communication tool across the country, bridging some gaps between remote areas and urban centers. The divide between urban and rural Mozambique is not merely geographical, but deeply rooted in socioeconomic realities. Urban areas exhibit a degree of economic development and infrastructure that contrasts sharply with the conditions in rural regions. Addressing these disparities requires focused efforts on infrastructure development, service provision, and equitable economic opportunities to ensure that all Mozambicans can benefit from the nation's progress. Mozambique's economy is a rich blend of traditional practices and modern industries, where agriculture, fishing, and mining create a diverse economic landscape. Each sector plays a crucial role in shaping the nation's economic identity and influencing the daily lives of its people. Agriculture is the backbone of Mozambique's economy, providing livelihood for a significant portion of the population. The fertile soil and favorable climate support the cultivation of a variety of crops. Maize, cassava, and rice are staple foods, with maize being particularly important as a dietary staple. Smallholder farmers, who often work their own plots of land, use traditional farming methods that have been passed down through generations. Despite its importance, the sector faces challenges such as limited access to modern agricultural technology and vulnerability to climate change. Fishing is another vital economic activity, especially for communities along Mozambique's extensive coastline. The country's rich marine resources support a thriving fishing industry, with many coastal villages relying on fishing as their primary source of income. Artisanal fishing is common, with local fishermen using traditional methods to catch a variety of fish species. However, overfishing and environmental degradation pose significant threats to this sector, leading to concerns about sustainability and the long-term viability of fish stocks. The mining sector adds a modern dimension to Mozambique's economy, with significant deposits of coal, natural gas, and precious minerals. The discovery and exploitation of these resources have attracted substantial foreign investment, promising economic growth and development. Large-scale mining operations, particularly in the northern and central regions, have the potential to transform Mozambique's economic landscape. Yet, this rapid development also brings challenges, including environmental impact, displacement of communities, and the need for effective governance to ensure that the benefits are equitably shared. Small businesses and the informal sector contribute significantly to Mozambique's economy. Markets across the country bustle with informal vendors selling everything from fresh produce to handcrafted goods. These small enterprises play a crucial role in providing goods and services, particularly in areas where formal business infrastructure is limited. The informal sector also provides essential employment opportunities, especially in urban and peri-urban areas. Despite these diverse economic activities, Mozambique faces ongoing challenges such as high unemployment rates, economic inequality, and underdeveloped infrastructure. The government and various organizations are working to address these issues through reforms and development initiatives aimed at promoting sustainable growth and improving economic conditions for all Mozambicans. The blend of traditional and modern economic activities illustrates the dynamic nature of Mozambique's economy. From the fields and fishing boats to the mines and markets, each sector contributes to the nation's economic fabric, shaping the lives of its people and driving the country towards a more prosperous future. Mozambique, a land where cultures intertwine and traditions flourish, offers a vibrant tapestry of cultural practices that reflect its rich history and diverse heritage. The nation's cultural landscape is a living mosaic, where ancient customs coexist with contemporary influences, creating a unique and dynamic societal fabric. At the heart of Mozambique's cultural identity is its linguistic diversity. Portuguese, the official language, serves as a unifying thread in a nation with over 40 indigenous languages. These languages are not just communication tools but carriers of history, tradition, and identity. The interplay between Portuguese and local languages illustrates the complex layers of Mozambique's colonial past and its enduring indigenous heritage. Religion in Mozambique is a vibrant aspect of its cultural tapestry. Christianity, Islam, and traditional African beliefs coexist, each adding its own color to the spiritual life of the country. Christian festivals, such as Christmas and Easter, are widely celebrated, often blending with local traditions to create unique customs. In contrast, traditional beliefs, including ancestor worship and rituals performed by local healers, remain integral to the cultural practices of many communities. Islam, particularly prevalent in the coastal regions, contributes to the cultural richness with its own set of practices and festivals. Mozambique's traditional festivals are a testament to its rich cultural heritage. The vibrant celebrations, such as the Maputo International Music Festival and the Festival of the Dead, showcase the nation's love for music, dance, and community gatherings. These festivals are not just celebrations, but expressions of cultural pride, community spirit, and a deep connection to historical roots. Traditional dances, often performed during ceremonies and celebrations, are not only artistic expressions, but also carry symbolic meanings and historical significance. Cuisine in Mozambique is another vibrant aspect of its cultural identity. The country's culinary traditions are a fusion of indigenous ingredients and influences from Portuguese colonial cuisine. Dishes such as peri-peri chicken, seafood stews, and matapa, a dish made from cassava leaves, reflect a blend of flavors and cooking techniques that tell the story of Mozambique's diverse cultural influences. Food is not just sustenance, but a way to connect with history and culture, often enjoyed in communal settings that highlight the importance of family and social bonds. Music and dance are at the core of Mozambican cultural expression. Traditional instruments, such as the timbala, a type of xylophone, and the bira, thumb piano, produce sounds that resonate with the rhythms of everyday life. Dance performances, ranging from energetic group dances to intricate solo routines, are integral to festivals and social gatherings. These art forms serve as both entertainment and a means of preserving and transmitting cultural heritage. The climax of Mozambique's cultural narrative lies in its ability to seamlessly blend the old and the new, the traditional and the modern. The country's rich cultural practices and traditions are a testament to its resilience and creativity. As Mozambique continues to evolve, its cultural heritage remains a cornerstone of its identity, offering a glimpse into the past while embracing the possibilities of the future. Mozambique's progress in education and healthcare is both a reflection of its achievements and a testament to its ongoing challenges. These two sectors are critical to the nation's development, influencing the well-being of its people and shaping the future of the country. Education in Mozambique has seen significant strides over the years. The government has made efforts to increase access to education, with a focus on improving primary and secondary schooling. The introduction of free and compulsory primary education in the early 2000s marked a milestone in the country's commitment to expanding educational opportunities. Schools have been established across the nation, aiming to provide children with a foundational education that can open doors to further opportunities. However, challenges persist in the education sector. Many schools, especially in rural areas, face issues such as overcrowded classrooms, insufficient resources, and a lack of trained teachers. The quality of education can vary widely, with urban areas generally having better facilities and resources compared to rural regions. The disparity in educational access and quality highlights the need for continued investment and reform to ensure that all Mozambican children receive a high-quality education. Higher education in Mozambique is also evolving, with several universities and technical institutions offering advanced studies and vocational training. These institutions play a crucial role in developing the country's human capital and addressing the skills gap in various sectors. However, access to higher education remains limited for many, particularly those from disadvantaged backgrounds. Efforts to increase enrollment and support students from diverse socioeconomic backgrounds are essential for fostering a more inclusive educational environment. In the realm of healthcare, Mozambique has made notable progress in improving health outcomes and expanding access to medical services. The government has implemented various health initiatives aimed at combating diseases such as malaria, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS. Vaccination programs and maternal and child health services have contributed to reductions in mortality rates and improved overall health standards. Despite these advancements, healthcare in Mozambique faces significant challenges. Access to healthcare services can be limited, particularly in remote and rural areas. Health facilities often suffer from inadequate infrastructure, shortages of medical supplies, and a lack of trained personnel. The disparity in healthcare access between urban and rural areas underscores the need for a more equitable distribution of resources and services. Efforts to improve healthcare delivery include the expansion of community-based health programs and initiatives aimed at increasing the availability of medical personnel in underserved areas. These programs seek to address gaps in healthcare access and ensure that essential services reach those who need them most. Both education and healthcare are pivotal to Mozambique's development. Addressing the challenges in these sectors requires a multifaceted approach that includes increased investment, policy reform, and community engagement. By focusing on improving access and quality in education and healthcare, Mozambique can work towards a future where all its citizens have the opportunity to thrive and contribute to the nation's progress. Infrastructure and transportation are the lifelines of Mozambique's development, connecting people, goods, and services across the vast and diverse landscape of the country. The state of Mozambique's infrastructure significantly impacts economic growth, quality of life, and the nation's ability to integrate into the global economy. Mozambique's infrastructure development has seen notable improvements, particularly in urban areas. Cities like Maputo and Beira have benefited from investment in road networks, bridges, and public facilities. These advancements support economic activities, facilitate trade, and improve accessibility for residents. Modernization efforts have included upgrading ports and expanding transportation networks to boost trade and connectivity within the region. However, significant challenges remain, especially in rural areas. The disparity between urban and rural infrastructure is striking, with rural regions often lacking essential services and infrastructure. Poorly maintained roads and limited access to reliable transportation can hinder economic opportunities and access to basic services. This divide highlights the need for targeted investment in rural infrastructure to support equitable development. The transportation network in Mozambique is a crucial component of economic growth. The country's strategic location along the Indian Ocean provides opportunities for maritime trade, with key ports like Maputo, Beira, and Nacala serving as vital gateways for exports and imports. Improvements in port facilities and transport links have the potential to enhance Mozambique's position as a regional trade hub. Despite these advancements, transportation infrastructure faces challenges such as congestion in urban areas, inadequate maintenance of existing roads, and the need for expanded public transport options. Addressing these issues requires a comprehensive approach that includes upgrading existing infrastructure, developing new transport corridors, and investing in sustainable transportation solutions. Efforts to improve infrastructure also include enhancing access to utilities such as electricity and water. Rural electrification projects and water supply initiatives are essential for improving living conditions and supporting economic development. Access to reliable electricity can boost productivity and enable the growth of small businesses, while improved water supply contributes to better health and quality of life. Infrastructure and transportation development in Mozambique are intertwined with the country's broader development goals. Investments in these areas are crucial for supporting economic growth, improving access to services, and enhancing the overall quality of life for Mozambicans. By addressing infrastructure challenges and expanding transportation options, Mozambique can build a foundation for sustainable development and greater regional integration. Mozambique's natural beauty and rich biodiversity are both a source of national pride and a crucial aspect of its identity. However, the country faces significant environmental challenges that threaten its ecosystems and the livelihoods of its people. Addressing these challenges while promoting conservation is vital for ensuring sustainable development and protecting Mozambique's natural heritage. One of the most pressing environmental challenges in Mozambique is deforestation. The country's forests, which are crucial for biodiversity, climate regulation, and local livelihoods, are under threat from illegal logging, agricultural expansion, and infrastructure development. Deforestation leads to loss of habitat for wildlife, soil erosion, and a decrease in air quality. Efforts to combat deforestation include reforestation projects, stricter enforcement of logging regulations, and community-based conservation initiatives. Another significant challenge is the impact of climate change. Mozambique is highly vulnerable to climate-related events such as cyclones, floods, and droughts. These extreme weather events can have devastating effects on communities, agriculture, and infrastructure. Coastal areas are particularly at risk from rising sea levels and increased storm intensity. Adaptation strategies, such as improving early warning systems, developing resilient infrastructure, and promoting sustainable agricultural practices, are essential for mitigating the effects of climate change. Biodiversity conservation is a critical aspect of Mozambique's environmental strategy. The country is home to a wide range of species, including iconic animals like elephants, lions, and various marine species. Protected areas, such as Gorongosa National Park and the Bazaruto Archipelago, play a key role in preserving this biodiversity. Conservation efforts focus on protecting these areas from poaching, habitat destruction, and other threats while promoting ecotourism as a sustainable economic activity. Marine conservation is also a priority, given Mozambique's extensive coastline and rich marine resources. Overfishing, pollution, and habitat degradation are significant threats to marine ecosystems. Initiatives to protect marine environments include establishing marine protected areas, promoting sustainable fishing practices, and addressing pollution sources. These efforts aim to ensure the long-term health of marine ecosystems and the livelihoods of coastal communities. Community involvement is crucial in addressing environmental challenges and promoting conservation. Many successful conservation projects in Mozambique have engaged local communities in protecting natural resources and managing conservation areas. By providing education, resources, and incentives for sustainable practices, these projects empower communities to become active stewards of their environment. Mozambique's environmental challenges are complex and require a multifaceted approach. Balancing development with conservation is essential for achieving sustainable growth and preserving the country's natural heritage. By addressing deforestation, climate change, and biodiversity loss, and by fostering community engagement, Mozambique can work towards a future where both people and nature thrive. In Mozambique, social issues and community life are deeply intertwined, reflecting the complexities of a nation striving to balance growth with social equity. The experiences of Mozambicans in their daily lives are shaped by a variety of factors, including poverty, gender inequality, and community solidarity. Poverty remains a significant issue in Mozambique, affecting a large portion of the population. Despite economic growth in certain sectors, many communities still struggle with low incomes, inadequate housing, and limited access to basic services. Efforts to address poverty include social programs aimed at improving living conditions, providing financial assistance, and supporting community development projects. However, achieving meaningful progress requires a comprehensive approach that tackles the root causes of poverty and promotes economic opportunities for all. Gender inequality is another critical social issue in Mozambique. Women and girls often face challenges related to education, employment, and healthcare. Traditional gender roles and cultural practices can limit opportunities and perpetuate disparities. Initiatives to promote gender equality focus on improving access to education for girls, supporting women's economic empowerment, and addressing gender-based violence. These efforts aim to create a more equitable society where women have equal opportunities to contribute to and benefit from national development. Community life in Mozambique is characterized by strong social networks and a sense of collective responsibility. Family and community ties play a central role in everyday life, providing support and solidarity in times of need. Traditional practices and communal activities, such as festivals, ceremonies, and collective farming, reinforce social bonds and cultural identity. This sense of community is a vital asset in addressing social challenges and fostering resilience. Health and nutrition are critical aspects of community well-being. In many areas, particularly rural communities, access to health care and nutritious food can be limited. Programs aimed at improving health outcomes focus on expanding access to medical services, promoting healthy lifestyles, and addressing malnutrition. Community-based health initiatives, such as vaccination campaigns and maternal health programs, play a crucial role in improving public health and enhancing quality of life. Education and awareness are essential components in addressing social issues. Educating communities about health, rights, and available resources empowers individuals to make informed decisions and seek support. Public awareness campaigns and community outreach efforts contribute to social change and foster a more informed and engaged populace. The interplay between social issues and community life in Mozambique highlights the need for integrated approaches that address both immediate needs and long-term development goals. By focusing on poverty reduction, gender equality, and community engagement, Mozambique can work toward a more inclusive and equitable society where all citizens have the opportunity to thrive. Tourism in Mozambique is a vibrant and growing sector, offering a window into the country's stunning landscapes, rich culture, and unique wildlife. The industry not only has the potential to boost economic growth but also faces significant challenges and opportunities that shape its impact on the nation. Mozambique's tourism appeal lies in its diverse attractions, from pristine beaches and marine reserves to historic sites and vibrant cultural experiences. Coastal destinations such as the Bazaruto Archipelago and the Corimbas Islands are renowned for their crystal-clear waters, coral reefs, and opportunities for scuba diving and snorkeling. These natural wonders draw international tourists seeking adventure and relaxation in idyllic settings. Inland, Mozambique offers rich cultural and historical experiences. The city of Maputo, with its blend of colonial architecture and modern vibrancy, attracts visitors interested in cultural exploration and urban experiences. Additionally, the Gorongosa National Park, once a symbol of the country's war-torn past, has become a beacon of successful conservation efforts and a premier destination for wildlife enthusiasts. The park's revival has not only restored its ecological significance, but also highlighted Mozambique's commitment to preserving its natural heritage. Tourism has the potential to be a significant driver of economic growth for Mozambique. The industry creates jobs, supports local businesses, and generates revenue that can be reinvested in community development and conservation efforts. Local communities, particularly those in tourist hotspots, benefit from increased economic activity and infrastructure improvements. Small businesses, such as local craft shops and restaurants, thrive as they cater to tourists' needs and preferences. However, the rapid growth of tourism also presents challenges. The influx of visitors can strain local resources and infrastructure, leading to environmental degradation and increased waste. Over-tourism in certain areas can negatively impact local ecosystems and disrupt communities. Additionally, ensuring that the benefits of tourism are equitably distributed remains a challenge, as large-scale tourism enterprises may not always prioritize local involvement or environmental sustainability. Efforts to address these challenges include promoting sustainable tourism practices and encouraging community-based tourism initiatives. Sustainable tourism focuses on minimizing environmental impact, supporting conservation efforts, and ensuring that tourism activities contribute positively to local communities. Community-based tourism, where local residents are actively involved in planning and managing tourism activities, helps ensure that tourism benefits are more evenly distributed and aligned with community needs and values. The climax of Mozambique's tourism story is its potential to balance growth with sustainability. By leveraging its natural and cultural assets while addressing the challenges associated with tourism development, Mozambique can create a tourism sector that contributes positively to its economy and society. Embracing sustainable practices and fostering community engagement are key to ensuring that tourism remains a force for good, benefiting both visitors and Mozambicans alike. As Mozambique looks to the future, it stands at a crossroads, poised between the opportunities offered by its rich natural resources and the challenges of sustainable development. The nation's trajectory will be shaped by how it navigates its complex issues while capitalizing on its strengths to build a prosperous and equitable future. Economic growth remains a central goal for Mozambique. The country's abundant natural resources, including minerals, gas, and fertile land, offer significant potential for boosting economic development. Strategic investment in these sectors can drive industrialization and create jobs, but it must be managed carefully to ensure long-term sustainability and benefit for all citizens. Balancing economic growth with environmental conservation and social equity will be crucial for achieving inclusive development. Education and healthcare are foundational to Mozambique's future. Continued investment in these areas is essential for building a skilled and healthy workforce capable of driving national progress. Addressing disparities in access and quality, particularly in rural areas, will help ensure that all Mozambicans have the opportunity to contribute to and benefit from economic and social advancements. Strengthening the education system and expanding healthcare services will also support the nation's broader development goals. Infrastructure and transportation development are key to unlocking Mozambique's economic potential. Improving connectivity between urban and rural areas, modernizing transportation networks, and investing in critical infrastructure will enhance trade, mobility, and quality of life. A focus on sustainable and resilient infrastructure will help the country adapt to climate change and support long-term growth. Environmental conservation is vital for protecting Mozambique's natural heritage and ensuring that development proceeds in harmony with nature. The country's rich biodiversity and beautiful landscapes are valuable assets that must be preserved for future generations. Efforts to combat deforestation, promote sustainable tourism, and address climate change will contribute to a healthier environment and a more sustainable future. Social issues, including poverty and gender inequality, must be addressed to create a more equitable society. Comprehensive policies and programs aimed at reducing poverty, promoting gender equality, and supporting community development are essential for building a just and inclusive society. Engaging communities in development efforts and ensuring that all citizens have a voice in shaping their future will foster social cohesion and resilience. Mozambique's future is full of potential, with opportunities to build on its strengths and address its challenges. By focusing on sustainable development, investing in human capital, and fostering community engagement, the nation can navigate its path towards growth and prosperity. The journey ahead will require careful planning, collaboration, and commitment to creating a future where all Mozambicans can thrive and contribute to the country's progress.